Good evening, and welcome. Settle into your most comfortable space, perhaps wrapped in a soft blanket or nestled upon a supportive pillow. Let your body grow heavy and your mind begin its gentle release from the day's concerns. There is nothing you need to do, nowhere you need to be, save for this quiet moment of peace. My voice will be a gentle guide, but feel free to drift away at any point. To close your eyes and surrender to the soothing rhythm of your own breath is the very purpose of our time together. Tonight, we journey far, far back, across the vast expanse of time, carried on a whisper of wind, to a land where the sun reigned supreme and a mighty river breathed life into the desert sands. Imagine, if you will, the subtle shift in the air around you. The familiar sounds of your world begin to recede, replaced by a deep, ancient quietude. Perhaps you can almost feel the gentle warmth of an afternoon sun, not harsh or demanding, but comforting, like a soft shawl draped over your shoulders. This is the sun of ancient Egypt, a golden light that has illuminated countless millennia, painting the landscape in hues of ochre and amber. We are not merely observing from a distance, we are gently immersing ourselves in a world where beauty was not a fleeting trend, but a profound expression of life itself. Listen for a moment to the distant, rhythmic lapping of the Nile, the very pulse of this civilization. It's a sound that has echoed through every dawn and dusk for thousands of years, a constant, comforting presence. Around us, the air carries a faint, earthy scent, mingled with something more delicate, perhaps the whisper of lotus blossoms from the river banks, or the subtle perfume of ancient resins drifting from a nearby temple. In this timeless place, beauty was intricately woven into the fabric of existence. It was a reflection of health, a symbol of piety, and an aspiration towards the divine order, known as Ma'at. For the ancient Egyptians, to be beautiful was to be in harmony with the cosmos, to honor the gods, and to prepare oneself not only for this life but for the eternal journey that lay beyond. From the grandest pharaoh to the most humble craftsperson, a conscious effort was made to enhance and adorn the body, to purify and elevate the spirit. It was a daily practice, a ritual, a quiet devotion. Close your eyes a little tighter now, and let your imagination paint the scene. Picture the broad, fertile ribbon of the Nile Valley, vibrant green against the endless expanse of golden desert. Feel the warmth of the sun-baked earth beneath your bare feet, or perhaps the cool, smooth texture of polished limestone within a shaded courtyard. See the soft glow of alabaster lamps casting long, dancing shadows on painted walls as evening descends. The world here is rich with sensory experiences, each one a thread in the tapestry of ancient Egyptian life. The pursuit of beauty was practical as well as spiritual. It was about protection from the harsh sun and the desert winds, about hygiene in a warm climate, and about expressing one's place within a society that valued clarity, balance, and grace. It was a language spoken through carefully chosen pigments, artfully crafted adornments, and the deliberate shaping of one's outward self. The materials they used were gifts from their land, minerals from the desert, plants from the river banks, precious stones from distant mines, all transformed by skilled hands into objects of profound elegance. As we gently explore the facets of this ancient elegance, we will discover the secrets of their skin care, the captivating artistry of their eye adornment, the majesty of their hair and wigs, and the intoxicating allure of their fragrances. We'll touch upon the simple elegance of their linen garments and the shimmering beauty of their jewels. Each aspect, a testament to their deep understanding of aesthetics and their connection to the divine. This journey is not one of hurried discovery, but of slow, peaceful contemplation, allowing the images and sensations to unfurl softly within your mind. For now, simply allow yourself to be cradled by the stillness of this imagined world. The soft murmur of the ancient Nile continues its endless song, a lullaby that has soothed generations. The air is calm and still, carrying only the faintest whispers of history. Your body is growing heavier, your breath deeper, more even. Let the golden light of the Egyptian sun warm you from within, a gentle radiance that banishes all shadows. You are safe, you are comfortable, and you are free to release any remaining tension. Drift now, if you wish, on the timeless currents of the Nile, into a deep and restorative sleep. Now, let your mind drift further, feeling the soft warmth of the sun-drenched air, and imagine the very first canvas of beauty in ancient Egypt, the skin itself. In this land of golden light and shimmering heat, the skin was not merely a covering but a living, breathing testament to health, vitality, and a connection to the divine. It was a luminous surface, cared for with dedication, reflecting the inner spirit and the gentle kiss of the sun. Imagine, for a moment, the early morning light filtering into a cool, shadowed room, perhaps beside a placid pool of water. The air is still, carrying the faint, sweet scent of incense from yesterday's rituals, mingling now with the promise of fresh, earthy aromas. The journey to radiant skin would begin with meticulous cleansing. The ancient Egyptians, ever practical and deeply connected to the elements around them, understood the need to purify and refresh. Instead of harsh soaps, they would turn to the earth's own gifts. Fine natron, a naturally occurring salt, often mixed with water and oils, served as a gentle cleanser, lifting away the dust of the day and preparing the skin for nourishment. Feel the imagined sensation, a subtle effervescence, a soft, mineral caress, leaving the skin feeling clean and wonderfully receptive, much like a freshly unfurled lotus petal ready to greet the dawn. As the sun climbed higher, bringing with it the dry desert breezes, protection and moisture became paramount. The brilliant Egyptian sun, while revered, could also be unforgiving. A healthy, supple complexion was the ideal, not a parched or sun-beaten one. To achieve this, a rich array of plant-based oils and balms were treasured. Think of the nourishing essence of moringa oil, often called ben oil, revered for its light texture and rejuvenating properties. Or perhaps the heavier, soothing embrace of castor or sesame oil, carefully pressed from seeds warmed by the very sun they sought to temper. These precious liquids, often infused with fragrant resins like myrrh or frankincense, were lovingly massaged into the skin. Close your eyes and imagine the smooth, cool glide of the oil across your forehead, your cheeks, your arms, sinking in slowly, leaving behind not a greasy film, but a soft, satin finish. The skin would drink in this moisture, becoming wonderfully pliable and resilient, shielded from the elements. But skincare went beyond mere cleansing and moisturizing. It was an art of refinement. To maintain that youthful glow, exfoliating treatments were also part of the routine. Imagine a gentle scrub made from finely ground alabaster, or perhaps a paste of honey and milk applied with tender hands. Honey, known for its softening and antiseptic qualities, combined with the lactic acid in milk, would have worked wonders, revealing fresh, new skin beneath. Listen for a moment to the soft, rhythmic sounds that might accompany such a ritual, the gentle splash of water, the quiet murmuring of a servant, the almost imperceptible hum of the morning, all contributing to a sense of peaceful devotion to the body. For blemishes or minor imperfections, the Egyptians turned to nature's pharmacy. Aloe vera, a plant whose soothing gel has been celebrated across millennia, would have been used for its healing touch. Perhaps finely powdered herbs, mixed into a paste, were applied with care, targeting specific areas with a gentle, patient touch. The aim was always to restore balance, to bring forth the skin's natural radiance, ensuring it remained a smooth, luminous canvas, reflecting light and life. The ideal complexion was not one of extreme paleness, but rather a healthy, warm glow, indicative of vitality and a life lived under the benevolent gaze of the sun, yet cared for. It was a skin that spoke of health, of being well-nourished, and of being respectfully protected from the harsher aspects of the desert climate. It had a natural warmth, a subtle sheen that caught the light beautifully, hinting at a life of comfort and careful self-attention. Now, as the imagined warmth of the Egyptian sun softens and the air cools slightly around you, let the sensations of ancient skincare gently fade. Feel your own skin, warm and comfortable, and allow the thought of these ancient rituals to settle like a calming balm. Rest in the knowledge of such devoted care, feeling the softness and peace that comes with being wonderfully cherished and nurtured. Now, let us turn our gaze to the eyes, those windows to the soul, which in ancient Egypt were believed to hold a special connection to the divine. Imagine a quiet chamber, perhaps at dawn, the first soft light of the sun just beginning to filter through a high window, painting the smooth walls in hues of warm apricot. The air is still, perhaps carrying the faint, sweet scent of a blooming lotus from a nearby pool. Here, the ritual of Adornment unfolds, not merely as a cosmetic act, but as a sacred communion, a gentle invocation of protection and beauty. At the heart of this ancient practice was kohl, a substance far more significant than the modern makeup we know today. It was a finely ground powder, often derived from galena, a natural lead ore that yielded a deep, velvety black. Sometimes, for a striking contrast or perhaps a different protective quality, malachite, a vibrant green mineral, would be carefully crushed and prepared. Picture the delicate process, a skilled hand grinding these raw minerals on a smooth stone palette, with a gentle, rhythmic motion, transforming rough earth into an ethereal powder, as fine as dust carried on the gentlest breeze. This wasn't merely about color, it was about the very essence of the earth, brought forth to adorn the most expressive part of the human face. The tools for application were as refined as the kohl itself. Slender rods, crafted from polished wood, smooth ivory, or perhaps even a cool piece of obsidian, were dipped into the finely prepared powder. Feel, if you will, the imagined coolness of such a tool against the fingertips, the slight weight of it, perfectly balanced for the delicate task ahead. With slow, deliberate movements, the kohl was applied to the upper and lower eyelids, often extended in a graceful, elongated line, reminiscent of the almond shape, or perhaps a gentle sweep towards the temples, like the elegant curve of a bird's wing. This distinctive line was not just for beauty, it was a potent symbol, evoking the watchful eye of Horus, the sky god, a powerful amulet against ill will and misfortune. Listen for a moment to the soft breath of the person applying the kohl, the almost imperceptible rustle of fine linen as they lean closer. There is no rush, only a quiet focus, a serene concentration on the task. The deep black kohl, once applied, had a remarkable quality. It would absorb the harsh glare of the Egyptian sun, protecting the eyes from its intensity, much like natural sunglasses. Furthermore, the compounds within the kohl were known to have mild antiseptic properties, helping to ward off eye infections and repel troublesome insects, a practical blessing in the warm climate. So, this sacred adornment was a guardian of health and comfort, as much as it was an enhancement of beauty. But beyond the practical, beyond even the striking aesthetic, lay a profound spiritual significance. The eyes, framed by kohl, were seen as a channel to the divine. The dark lines were believed to ward off the evil eye, a malevolent glance thought to bring misfortune. They were a visible prayer, a constant invocation of protection from the gods. To wear kohl was to carry a piece of sacred power, to align oneself with the cosmic order, to make one's gaze not just a human look, but a reflection of the watchful, protective gaze of the gods themselves. Imagine the feeling of quiet confidence, of profound peace, that must have settled upon those who bore such an adornment, knowing they were not only beautiful in the human sense but also blessed and shielded by the ancient forces of their world. Now, allow that imagery to gently fade, like the last embers of a warm campfire. Feel the quiet stillness of the ancient chamber, the soft glow of the fading light on the walls, the subtle, earthy scent of minerals blending with the evening air. The careful strokes, the ancient wisdom, the blend of beauty and belief all merge into a single, peaceful thought. Let your own eyes feel the gentle caress of stillness, the soothing quiet after all the day's seeing. As the memory of these sacred gazes settles, feel your own eyelids grow heavy, soft, and deeply at rest. Let us now gently turn our attention to the crowns that graced their heads, the flowing majesty of hair and the artistry of wigs that whispered tales of status, devotion, and an innate sense of beauty. Imagine, if you will, the warm Egyptian air, perhaps stirring ever so slightly, carrying the faint scent of lotus and myrrh as we consider the elaborate and often deeply symbolic styles that adorned the people of the Nile. For the ancient Egyptians, hair was far more than mere covering. It was a canvas for expression, a signifier of age, wealth, and even spiritual connection. While some might envision a uniformly shaven populace, the reality was a rich tapestry of personal choice and social convention. Natural hair, when grown, was meticulously cared for. Picture the gentle rhythm of a fine-toothed comb, perhaps carved from wood or bone, gliding through dark, lustrous locks. Hair was washed with water, sometimes enriched with natron or fragrant oils, leaving it clean and shining. Men often wore their natural hair short, sometimes just above the ears, while women might allow theirs to grow longer, styled simply or perhaps gathered at the nape of the neck. These natural styles, though less frequently depicted in formal art, were certainly a part of daily life, especially for those involved in manual labor or for children, whose heads were sometimes shaved with a single lock left intact as a symbol of youth. But the true spectacle, the true flowing majesty, often came in the form of the wig. These were not mere fashion accessories, they were essential elements of cleanliness, protection, and prestige. In the scorching Egyptian sun, a dense wig offered a measure of relief, shielding the delicate scalp from the intense rays. More practically, wigs provided a solution to the challenges of lice and other parasites in a hot, crowded environment. Shaving one's head and wearing a wig allowed for easier hygiene, as the wig could be cleaned and aired separately. Listen for a moment to the soft rustle that might accompany the movement of a finely crafted wig, perhaps made from human hair, carefully braided and attached to a mesh cap, or even from plant fibers like date palm fiber, meticulously woven and styled. The variety of wigs was astounding, reflecting both personal taste and social standing. From the short, close-cropped styles favored by many men, sometimes curled or arranged in precise rows of tight braids, to the elaborate, heavy tresses cascading down the shoulders of queens and noble women, each wig was a statement. Imagine the visual impact: a wealthy woman adorned with a magnificent tripart wig, its three sections falling gracefully over her chest and back, perhaps gleaming with a dark, almost obsidian sheen, carefully coiffed and perfumed. The individual strands, often meticulously braided or curled, would be held in place with beeswax and resin, creating a look of impeccable order and sophistication. Color, too, played its part. While dark, almost black, wigs were predominant, reflecting the natural hair color of many Egyptians and perhaps symbolizing the rich, dark soil of the Nile. There might have been variations, hints of lighter hues from aged hair or the subtle sheen of carefully applied oils. The surface of these wigs was often polished, reflecting the light with a soft glow, an intentional artistry designed to catch the eye. Feel the imagined texture for a moment, the smooth, cool weight of a perfectly styled wig, resting comfortably on the head, its carefully arranged layers a testament to hours of skilled craftsmanship. These elaborate headpieces were not worn unadorned. Think of the delicate headbands, often made of gold or silver, sometimes inlaid with vibrant lapis lazuli or carnelian, holding the wig securely and adding a touch of regal splendor. Lotus blossoms, fresh or crafted from metal, might be nestled among the braids, releasing a gentle fragrance into the air, a natural perfume mingling with the scented oils that permeated the wig. For special occasions, or for those of the highest rank, intricate golden diadems, perhaps featuring the protective cobra, uraeus, or the vulture, would proclaim their divine connection and earthly power. Each ornament, each carefully placed braid, each gleam of polished hair, spoke volumes. The symbolism of hair and wigs extended beyond mere aesthetics. Cleanliness and order were paramount in ancient Egyptian cosmology, reflecting the divine order of Ma'at. A perfectly groomed wig, free from disarray, mirrored this ideal, presenting a person who was in harmony with the cosmos. It was a sign of respect, both for oneself and for the gods. The youthful, often shaven head, protected by a wig, spoke of vitality and health, while the long, flowing tresses of a goddess or a queen evoked fertility and timeless beauty. As the gentle rhythm of the Nile continues its slow, unwavering journey, so too do the images of ancient Egyptian hair and wigs drift through your mind. Allow the intricate patterns, the dark gleam, and the quiet dignity of these styles to settle softly within your thoughts. Feel the imaginary coolness of a perfectly smooth wig, or the soft whisper of a comb through cared-for hair. Let these visions become part of a peaceful tapestry, gently guiding you towards a state of deep tranquility and restorative rest. The day's concerns are fading now, like the last rays of the sun over the western desert, leaving only the soft embrace of quietude. As the warm, dry air of ancient Egypt settled gently around them, it often carried more than just the faint whisper of the desert breeze. It was an air woven with fragrance, a delicate tapestry of scent that spoke not only of personal adornment but also of reverence, ritual, and a profound connection to the divine. Imagine for a moment, standing beneath the vast, cobalt sky, the sun a generous benefactor of warmth upon your skin, and then, a subtle, captivating essence drifts past you, a secret language carried on the currents of the air. For the ancient Egyptians, fragrance was an invisible garment, an intimate part of their being, and a vital bridge between the earthly and the eternal. It was not merely about masking unpleasant odors, though in a hot climate, this was certainly a practical benefit. No, it was about purity, health, status, and most deeply, about offering a pleasant sensation to the gods, who were believed to delight in sweet aromas. From the bustling market stalls to the quietude of the temple sanctuaries, the air was perpetually scented, a gentle reminder of life's subtle beauties and deeper mysteries. Listen for a moment, and picture the source of these precious essences. Imagine the lush temple gardens, carefully cultivated plots of vibrant green against the golden sand. Here, the fragrant blue lotus bloomed, its petals unfurling slowly with the sunrise, releasing a sweet, ethereal perfume that was considered sacred, symbolizing creation and rebirth. Alongside it might have grown delicate lilies, their white blooms adding a softer, more powdery note to the morning air. Beyond these cultivated oases, caravans would journey across vast distances, bringing precious resins from distant lands, the warm, balsamic notes of myrrh, the uplifting, pine-like whisper of frankincense, and the spicy warmth of cassia and cinnamon, all highly prized and carefully guarded. These raw materials, gathered with reverence, were then transformed by skilled artisans into precious unguents, balms, and oils. The process was slow, meticulous, and steeped in ancient knowledge. Flowers, herbs, and resins would be steeped in carrier oils, often derived from moringa, almond, or castor beans, allowing their essences to infuse slowly over time, capturing their very spirit. The resulting unguents were rich, dense, and exquisitely scented, stored in beautiful alabaster jars, their cool, smooth surfaces a delight to the touch. Imagine applying one of these precious balms to your skin after your daily cleansing ritual. The texture would be smooth, almost silken, melting gently with the warmth of your body, releasing its delicate perfume in a slow, continuous bloom. Perhaps it was a blend rich with the sweetness of honey and the exotic spice of cardamom, or a soothing mixture infused with the calming notes of marjoram and mint. Women and men alike would anoint their skin, not just for pleasure, but for the protective qualities of the oils against the dry climate, and for the feeling of being enveloped in a subtle aura of refinement and grace. One of the most iconic forms of personal fragrance was the scented cone, often worn atop the head during banquets and festive gatherings. Imagine these cones, made from solid fragrant fat, slowly melting in the warmth of the room, allowing rivulets of perfumed oil to gently course down the hair and face, releasing a continuous stream of captivating aroma. It was a visual and olfactory spectacle, a living, breathing diffuser of beauty and celebration. But the true heart of fragrance in ancient Egypt lay in its spiritual dimension. Incense, particularly, was seen as a pathway to the gods. Picture the interior of a vast temple, the air thick and still, shafts of sunlight piercing through high windows, illuminating motes of dust dancing in the sacred space. Then, the rhythmic swing of a censer, releasing plumes of fragrant smoke that curl and drift towards the towering statues of the deities. Myrrh, frankincense, and a complex blend known as kai-fi, a legendary incense comprised of over a dozen ingredients like juniper, sweet flag, mastic, and resins, often mixed with wine and honey, would be burnt at various times of the day. Kai-fi, in particular, was revered not just for its exquisite aroma but for its calming, almost hypnotic properties. Burnt at dusk, its warm, rich, and slightly sweet scent was believed to soothe the mind, ease anxieties, and invite peaceful sleep. Imagine its gentle tendrils of smoke rising, carrying prayers and intentions upwards, purifying the air, and inviting a profound sense of tranquility. It was believed that through these fragrant offerings, the human world could commune with the divine, and that the gods themselves drew sustenance from the very essence of these sacred scents. So, fragrance in ancient Egypt was more than just a fleeting pleasure, it was a deeply ingrained aspect of life, connecting body, spirit, and cosmos. It was the scent of the sacred lotus unfolding, the comforting warmth of an unguent on the skin, and the ethereal curl of incense smoke carrying silent prayers to the heavens. Each breath taken in that scented air was an invitation to a deeper peace, a gentle reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. Now, as you gently release any lingering thoughts, imagine that ancient, fragrant air softly embracing you, like a comforting whisper of cedar and myrrh, mingled with the faint sweetness of blossoms. Allow these timeless aromas to soothe your senses, letting their gentle presence guide you towards a tranquil stillness, much like the calm, fragrant stillness that settled over the ancient Nile as twilight deepened. Imagine, if you will, the gentle caress of the ancient Egyptian air, warm and soft against your skin, as we turn our thoughts to the very fabric that clothed these elegant people, and the luminous jewels that adorned them. Picture the crisp, clean lines of their garments, fashioned almost entirely from linen, a material so perfectly suited to the sun-drenched landscape. It was spun from the flax plant, carefully cultivated along the fertile banks of the Nile, and then woven into threads of remarkable fineness. Feel, for a moment, the sensation of this linen. It was incredibly light, allowing the air to circulate freely, offering a cool sanctuary from the desert heat. Its natural color was a creamy off-white, but it could be bleached to a dazzling, pure white, reflecting the brilliant sunlight. Imagine wearing such a garment, perhaps a simple, elegant wrap, draped gracefully around your form, or a tunic intricately pleated, catching the light as you moved. The pleats themselves were a testament to the skill of the artisans, carefully pressed and starched, creating a subtle texture that whispers of understated luxury. This white linen was not merely clothing, it was a statement of purity, cleanliness, and comfort, a canvas upon which the vibrant artistry of their adornments could truly shine. And what adornments they were! From the simplest bead to the most elaborate pectoral, ancient Egyptian jewelry told stories, offered protection, and shimmered with the very essence of the divine. Let your mind drift to the jewel that perhaps most epitomizes this ancient land, lapis lazuli. Close your eyes and envision its breathtaking, deep celestial blue, a color so profound it seems to hold the vastness of the night sky within its depths. This stone, often flecked with tiny golden inclusions of pyrite, like distant stars, was considered sacred. It was believed to be the stone of the gods, connected to the heavens and to truth itself. Feel its cool, smooth surface against your skin, perhaps as a bead in a broad collar necklace, or carved into a protective amulet. Its presence was not just beautiful, it was believed to imbue the wearer with divine power and wisdom. But lapis was just one star in a glittering constellation. Imagine the warm, golden glow of pure gold, hammered and molded into intricate shapes. Gold, the flesh of the gods, never tarnishing, symbolized eternity and the life-giving sun. See it in wide, cuff-like bracelets adorning wrists, or delicate anklets catching the light as a foot gently steps. Here, perhaps, the soft, barely perceptible chime of a dozen tiny gold beads on a necklace, a gentle lullaby of precious metal. Then, let your gaze wander to the fiery crimson of carnelian, a stone of vibrant energy and protection, often shaped into scarabs or protective symbols. Its rich, warm hue would contrast beautifully with the cool blue of lapis or the pure white of linen. Picture the serene, calming blue-green of turquoise, reminiscent of the Nile's fertile banks and the oasis springs, symbolizing life and joy. And do not forget faience, a glazed ceramic material, often in brilliant shades of blue or green, crafted into countless beads and amulets, mimicking the more precious stones but with its own unique, lustrous sheen. Each material, each color, each carefully chosen bead, held a specific meaning, a silent language spoken through beauty and craftsmanship. Consider the meticulous detail of a broad collar, a magnificent necklace that would rest upon the shoulders, often composed of hundreds, even thousands, of tiny beads of lapis, carnelian, turquoise, and gold, all strung together in an elaborate pattern. These collars were not merely decorative, they were powerful symbols of status, divinity, and protection, encircling the wearer with a protective embrace. Imagine the weight, the coolness, the vibrant tapestry of color resting against the skin, each element whispering ancient blessings. Or perhaps a simple gold ring on a finger, featuring a carved bezel that could also serve as a seal, an intimate touch of personal power and identity. Whether it was the humble bead or the majestic pectoral, jewelry in ancient Egypt was deeply interwoven with life, death, and the divine. It was a tangible connection to the gods, a means of warding off unseen dangers, and a profound expression of identity and belief. These adornments were chosen with intention, each piece contributing to a harmonious whole, reflecting the wearer's place in the cosmic order. Now, as your mind gently cradles these images of linen, pure and cool, and jewels, radiant with ancient light and meaning, allow these thoughts to settle softly around you. Feel the quiet elegance of these timeless materials, their silent stories of beauty and protection. Let the imagined shimmer of lapis and the soft embrace of linen guide you deeper into a tranquil rest, a calm and peaceful space where the echoes of ancient beauty gently lull you toward sleep. Now, let us turn our attention to the gentle caress of water, the very essence of renewal in this ancient land. Imagine, if you will, the cool, soft breath of dawn just beginning to stir the air, carrying with it the faint, earthy scent of the Nile. The sun is not yet high, but a subtle warmth begins to spread, inviting a sense of peaceful awakening. For the ancient Egyptians, cleanliness was not merely a matter of comfort or appearance, it was a profound ritual, an integral part of their daily life, connecting them to health, purity, and the divine order of the cosmos. Listen for a moment to the soft, rhythmic splash of water being drawn from a cool clay jar. This was often the first sound of the morning, a prelude to the day's rituals. There were no elaborate indoor plumbing systems as we know them today, but every home, from the humble mud brick dwelling to the grandest villa, engaged in the daily act of washing. Basins, often crafted from beautiful alabaster or sturdy pottery, would be brought forth, and cool water from the great river, or perhaps from a well, would be poured with a gentle, steady hand. Picture yourself standing in a sun-dappled courtyard, or within the cool shade of a home, as water is poured over your skin. It wasn't a bath in a large, filled tub, but rather a refreshing flow, often guided by an attendant in wealthier households, or performed simply by oneself. The sensation of the cool water cascading down, rinsing away the sleep and dust of the night, would have been deeply invigorating. The air, still fresh with the morning, would carry the subtle fragrance of damp earth and the promise of a new day. To cleanse the body, the Egyptians employed natural wonders. Natron, a naturally occurring mineral salt found in abundance in the desert, was a common and effective cleansing agent. Imagine its fine, granular texture gently rubbed over the skin, leaving a subtle, mineral freshness. Sometimes, finely ground sand or smooth pumice stones were used for gentle exfoliation, polishing the skin to a soft, radiant glow. After the natron, rich, scented oils, perhaps infused with fragrant lotus, soothing myrrh, or invigorating frankincense, would be massaged into the skin. Feel the silky smoothness, the lingering warmth, and the delicate perfume that would envelop you, nourishing and protecting the skin from the dry desert air. Hair, too, received its share of cleansing and conditioning. It would be rinsed with water, then treated with fragrant oils and sometimes natural plant essences to keep it lustrous and healthy. Oral hygiene was also considered important. Chewing on aromatic twigs helped to freshen the breath, and pastes made from natron and herbal ingredients were used to clean the teeth, maintaining a bright smile. Throughout the day, before and after meals, and after any physical labor, hands and feet would be meticulously washed, a small but significant act of renewal that punctuated the rhythm of life. For the priestly class, the rituals of cleanliness were even more stringent, bordering on the sacred. Before entering the hallowed precincts of a temple, priests would purify themselves completely, sometimes bathing multiple times a day, shaving their bodies to remove all hair, and donning freshly laundered linen garments. This extreme dedication to purity reflected the belief that only in a state of absolute cleanliness could one truly approach the gods and perform the sacred rites. Thus, the simple act of washing transcended mere hygiene. It became a profound gesture of respect, a quiet prayer, and a testament to the deep connection between the physical and the spiritual world. The feeling of being utterly clean, of your skin tingling and breathing in the fresh air, was a sensation of peace and readiness. Imagine the soft, absorbent linen cloth gently drying your skin, leaving behind the subtle, sweet aroma of the oils and the fresh scent of water. This daily communion with water, this mindful dedication to purity, instilled a quiet confidence and a sense of harmony with one's environment and one's inner self. It was a comforting cycle, ensuring that each day began and ended with a feeling of profound renewal. Now, as the echoes of these ancient waters gently fade, allow yourself to absorb that same feeling of gentle cleansing, of peace and purity. Let the soothing image of cool water, soft linen, and fragrant oils drift through your mind, carrying away any lingering tensions. Feel the soft warmth of the air, the subtle sense of antiquity, and simply rest. Close your eyes now, and let your mind drift further, gently carried by the currents of the Nile, back to a time when beauty was not merely skin deep, but a reflection of a deeper harmony, a sculpted ideal born from life itself. We've explored the meticulous rituals, the vibrant colors, and the intoxicating scents that adorned the ancient Egyptians, but now, let us consider the very vessel that carried such splendor, the human form, and the graceful presence it commanded. Imagine, for a moment, the figures etched into the walls of ancient temples, or carved from enduring stone. What do you see? Not extremes, but a profound sense of balance, a quiet strength, and an unmistakable vitality. The ideal form in ancient Egypt was one of serene proportion, neither overly muscular nor excessively slender, but rather a testament to healthy living and a harmonious spirit. For men, broad shoulders often spoke of strength and capability, while for women, a gentle curve of the hip, a slender waist, and a graceful neck were often celebrated. These were bodies that seemed to breathe with life, imbued with a youthful yet mature quality, representing not just physical attractiveness, but a state of being in tune with the world around them. Picture the way they moved, those ancient Egyptians. Their daily lives, whether working in the fields under the warm sun, performing sacred rites within cool temple confines, or simply walking along the riverbanks, instilled a natural dignity. Their posture was often upright, shoulders relaxed but held with an innate sense of purpose. There was a quiet confidence in their bearing, a measured pace to their steps. Imagine watching them, perhaps at dawn, as the first rays of sunlight warmed the dusty ground, their linen garments flowing gently with each unhurried movement. The fabric, light and breathable, would have encouraged a natural, unconstrained grace, moving with the body rather than restricting it. Listen for a moment, and you might almost hear the soft rustle of fine linen, a whisper against the morning air, as a woman carries a water jar from the Nile, her movements fluid and economical, yet imbued with an almost dance-like quality. This grace was not merely aesthetic, it was deeply interwoven with their philosophy of life. A healthy, well-proportioned body was seen as a reflection of ***, the cosmic order, truth, and balance that governed their world. To maintain such a form was a form of piety, a demonstration of one's alignment with divine principles. Their diet, rich in grains, fruits, vegetables, and the bounty of the Nile, along with an active lifestyle, naturally fostered a robust yet elegant physique. It wasn't about striving for an impossible standard through deprivation, but about living in harmony with the natural rhythms of existence, allowing the body to flourish as a testament to life's abundance. Consider the gentle, deliberate gestures one might observe. The way a priest might raise his hands in offering, slow and deliberate, or how a scribe might hold his reed pen, poised with quiet concentration. Even in moments of leisure, perhaps gathered in a garden fragrant with the scent of lilies, their interactions would have carried this same understated elegance. The laughter, though joyful, would likely have been soft, the conversations flowing like the gentle currents of the Nile itself. The warmth of the sun on their skin, the cool touch of a breeze, all contributed to this sense of calm, embodied presence. The sculptors and painters of ancient Egypt captured this ideal not just in rigid forms, but infused it with a palpable sense of inner peace. Their figures often gaze forward with a serene, almost detached expression, eyes wide and calm, reflecting a spirit untroubled by the fleeting concerns of the earthly world. This was the outward manifestation of an inner state, a soul at peace, prepared for both life and the eternal journey beyond. It was a beauty that spoke of resilience, of an enduring spirit, much like the timeless pyramids that rose from the desert sands. So, as you rest now, let your own body find that same sense of quiet dignity, that gentle strength. Feel the soft support beneath you, the warmth of your covers, and imagine your own form settling into a state of perfect balance. Let go of any tension, allowing your muscles to soften, your breath to deepen, until you embody a stillness as profound and serene as the ancient statues. This ideal form, sculpted not by external pressures but by life, by harmony, and by a deep connection to the natural world, is an invitation to simply be star. Allow your own being to align with this timeless tranquility, drifting into a peaceful slumber, cradled by the echoes of ancient grace. As we gently drift further into the quiet currents of the night, letting the soft, warm air of ancient Kemet envelop us, we come to understand that the pursuit of beauty in this timeless land was never merely about superficial adornment. It was something far deeper, woven into the very fabric of existence, a profound expression of a world view where everything was interconnected, balanced, and divine. Imagine for a moment the serene wisdom in the eyes of an ancient Egyptian, not just seeing the vibrant kohl or the lustrous wig, but perceiving something more profound beneath the surface. For them, true beauty was an outward manifestation of Ma'at*, the cosmic principle of truth, justice, balance, and order. To be beautiful was to be in harmony with the universe, to align oneself with the divine plan that governed all things. Every careful application of unguent, every stroke of a kohl stick, every intricate braid, every chosen jewel, was a quiet, deliberate act of bringing oneself closer to this ideal state of balance and perfection. Listen for a moment to the soft rustle of palm fronds in a gentle breeze, a sound that echoes the rhythm of life along the Nile. Just as the Nile flowed predictably, bringing life and sustenance, so too did the Egyptians strive for predictability and order in their own lives, reflected in their appearance. Cleanliness, an essential part of their daily routine, wasn't just about hygiene, it was a ritual purification, a shedding of chaos and impurities to embrace a state of grace. To present oneself clean and adorned was an act of reverence, not only to others but to the gods themselves, who were perceived as the epitome of beauty, order, and eternal youth. Think of the precious oils and fragrant resins, their rich, warm scents filling the air. These weren't just perfumes, they were often consecrated substances, offerings to the divine, intended to invoke blessings and create an aura of sanctity. The very act of anointing the skin with fragrant balms, feeling their smooth, cool texture against your skin, was a moment of meditative connection, preparing the body not just for the day, but for an alignment with the spiritual realm. It transformed the mundane into the sacred, imbuing everyday rituals with deeper meaning. The jewels, the linen, the carefully crafted wigs, each element, touched upon in our journey, contributed to this holistic vision. A perfectly pleated linen gown, crisp and clean, symbolized purity and the mastery of human skill. The lapis lazuli, with its deep celestial blue, and the shimmering gold, reflecting the very sun itself, were not merely decorative. They were symbols of the heavens, the sun god Ra, and the eternal life force, worn to draw divine protection and blessings. When you wore these, you were adorning yourself with pieces of the cosmos, reflecting the divine light. Even the ideal physical form, sculpted and graceful, was a reflection of this inner harmony. It wasn't about fleeting trends, but about a timeless elegance, a posture that conveyed serenity, strength, and an inner peace derived from living in accordance with Ma'at. The calm demeanor, the steady gaze, the deliberate movements, all spoke of a soul at peace, in tune with the rhythm of existence, prepared for the journey beyond this life. For the ancient Egyptians, beauty was also a vital preparation for eternity. A body carefully preserved and beautifully presented, mirroring the perfection of the gods, was believed to ensure a successful transition to the afterlife, allowing the *Ka* and *Ba* to reunite and enjoy an eternal existence in the field of reeds. So, as the last remnants of our journey through ancient Egyptian beauty begin to gently fade, leaving behind a profound sense of peace, understand that their pursuit was a spiritual endeavor. It was a language spoken through aesthetics, a silent prayer whispered through adornment, a constant striving for balance, order, and a luminous connection to the divine. This deep understanding of beauty as a reflection of cosmic order is a warm, comforting thought, a timeless echo of eternity that still resonates softly in the quiet chambers of our minds. Now, let any remaining thoughts of the day begin to dissolve, like grains of sand carried away by the gentle currents of the Nile. Feel the quiet hush of the ancient night settle around you, soft and warm. Let the wisdom of these timeless practices, the harmony of Marat, and the profound connection to the divine gently guide you towards a tranquil and restorative rest. Allow your own inner beauty, your own sense of balance, to embrace you now, as you prepare to drift into the deepest, most peaceful sleep. The sun has finally dipped below the horizon, its last blush of rose and gold fading from the western sky, leaving behind a canvas of deepening indigo. Feel the gentle shift in the air, from the day's lingering warmth to the cool, soft embrace of the approaching night. The world, which bustled with the rhythms of daily life along the Nile, now begins its slow, deliberate descent into stillness. Listen for a moment to the sounds that mark this transition, the distant, rhythmic creak of a shadouf drawing water for the last time, the soft murmur of voices settling down in nearby homes, and most profoundly, the ceaseless, ancient song of the river itself. Imagine yourself now, wrapped in the quietude of a starlit Egyptian evening. You are safe, nestled within the comforting walls of your home, perhaps on a cool, woven mat, or within the soft folds of freshly laundered linen. The concerns of the day, like the heat of the sun, have begun to dissipate. Recall the gentle rituals that brought you to this peaceful moment. You might still feel the lingering smoothness on your skin, the result of cleansing with natron and oil, the very essence of the luminous canvas you cultivated throughout the day. It was a practice not merely of cleanliness, but of reverence for the body, a temple to be cherished. The soft, cooling air caresses your face, perhaps carrying the faint, sweet scent of lotus blossoms that closed their petals with the setting sun, or the deep, grounding aroma of myrrh from the fragrant combs worn in your hair earlier. These were the scented airs, designed to elevate the spirit, and even now, their subtle traces weave through the night, a calming tapestry for your senses. The memory of cool water from the waters of renewal, used to refresh and purify, might still bring a sense of profound serenity, washing away not just the dust of the day, but any lingering tension. Allow your eyes to gently close, releasing the need to gaze upon the world. The gaze of the gods, which once adorned your eyes with kohl, has now softened, turning inward, towards a landscape of peace. There is no longer a need for the elaborate flowing majesty of your carefully styled hair or wig, nor the gleaming language of jewels that adorned your neck and wrists. These are laid aside, symbols of the waking world, just as your own conscious thoughts begin to gently recede. Feel the weight of your body settling, becoming one with the earth beneath you. The graceful presence, though ideal form that moved through the day with purpose and poise, now yields to the profound wisdom of rest. Each muscle, each sinew, releases its hold. Imagine the cool, smooth texture of the finely woven linen against your skin, a simple comfort, yet imbued with the essence of ancient craftsmanship and care. It whispers of purity and ease, a constant companion in the rhythm of life and sleep. The night sky above, a vast expanse of shimmering stars, reminds us of the echoes of eternity and the divine order that permeated every aspect of ancient Egyptian life. Just as the stars follow their ancient paths across the heavens, so too does the body follow its own timeless rhythm, a journey from waking to sleeping, from activity to profound rest. There is a deep, inherent harmony in this cycle, a cosmic dance that embraces all living things. You are part of this grand, gentle design, perfectly aligned with the universe's quiet cadence. Listen closely, and you might almost hear the distant, gentle lapping of the Nile against its banks, a lullaby thousands of years old, constant and comforting. It is the heartbeat of this ancient land, a reminder of the endless flow of time, carrying you softly on its current towards the deepest calm. Let its steady, soothing presence wash over you, clearing your mind, easing your breath, guiding you away from the shores of wakefulness. All the beauty, all the care, all the mindful attention given to the body and spirit throughout the day, culminates in this moment of surrender. It is a final, tender act of self-care, allowing the body to renew itself, the mind to wander into dreams, and the spirit to find profound peace. The world outside continues its slow, majestic turning, but within your sanctuary, there is only stillness, only quiet. Let go now. Let your breathing deepen and slow, like the quiet ripple of the river at night. Feel yourself drifting, lighter and lighter, as if floating on the gentle current of the timeless Nile. The soft scent of the night air, the cool touch of linen, the vast, comforting blanket of stars above, all these cradle you. You are held, safe and deeply peaceful. The day is done. All is well. Sleep now. Let your mind become still. Sleep now. Rest deeply. Sleep now.